Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery putting together a quick video on the new SharpByDesign Derecho by Nadeau. This is the mid-tech version of his custom Derecho. And it just dropped last week, so I figured I would go ahead and put together a quick video to show you guys kind of what the knife is like, as well as show you the custom anodizing that's been done on all these beauties. So I'll go ahead and hit the basic specs first. Blade length on this one comes in at 3.63 inches. Cutting edge is 3.55 inches. Closed length is 4.66 inches with an overall length of 8.38 inches. The steel is going to be a Bohler M390 with a thickness of 0.153. It's the very wicked hawkbill blade that does have a flipper tab, as well as a milled in line that you can flick with your finger from each side. So definitely designed very nicely. It is a hollow ground edge, so has a very sharp edge on it. And all of the blades on these have been belt satin finished. Of course, they are all titanium lockbacks and come in a number of different versions. You have the cutout in the full titanium, a carbon fiber. There was an OD micarta inlay, or the carbon fiber, the cutouts, and then they do have a blue G10 as well. So there is a blue G10. I got a couple of each. I got rid of the OD green and dyed that a deep red to give it something a little bit different. And the blue G10 inlays are actually supposed to be on the gray handle. So the one that you saw there with the black PVD is a little bit different because I've swapped them out. So these guys are just a super wicked design. That blade is just comes to such an insane tip. It is unreal. But they turned out beautifully. They are all bead blasted or the black PVD. And of course I have removed the bead blasting and polished them out. Kind of fingerprinting this one up. This one is a very nice green blue faded into a green with the bronze storm treatment up by the pivot. And then I did go with bronze on the screws and the pocket clip. Was not able to anodize any of the pivot screws due to them being made out of the steel. So we'll go ahead and hit these kind of all one at a time. This is one that was done, polished out, and done with a superstorm treatment. A lot of really nice color in there. Very happy with the way this one turned out. Those nice little cutouts. They do, of course, have Brian's patented, or Brian's signature nub instead of the detent ball. That is part of the steel lockbar insert. And they are kind of interesting. They do have the one spot where they come together in the center here, and then your pivot, and then there's no backspacer out by the tip. So you got a nice thick spot of titanium, and then kind of hollowed out all the way out by the tip. So let's see, here is one of the carbon fiber versions, and I must say I'm very happy Brian did these right. So many of these Riot produced knives have glued in G10 inlays, or glued in inlays, not G10 necessarily, but glued in inlays. These actually have 2 screws on each one of them. So very happy that he did the screws instead of the gluing, because gluing these things back in is always a nightmare to try and get them flush. So very happy with the way this one turned out. Nice superstorm treatment. They all centered in very nicely. And that wicked cutting edge is just pretty insane. This one is one of the carbon fiber that was polished, given a blue background, and then I polished out that pocket clip and superstormed it. Again, centered in very nicely, and boom, she is good to go with a nice flip of the finger. Like I said, they do have that groove milled in, and they flick very nicely from the underside with your middle finger. That's kind of one of the ways I really like to flip knives out. So I'm very happy that he kind of gave you 2 dual ways to deploy this one. This is an example of my new acid rain pattern. So this one's been polished out and then given the acid rain treatment. So you get this really cool splatter effect as the acid rain hits that handle when I'm working on it, and really is a pretty sharp looking effect. I really like it in the polished. I did one with the satin and wasn't quite as happy with the results, but this one just turned out awesome. Super pleased with this. I'll be playing more with this this configuration of anodizing. So very happy with this pattern. Very cool looking effect. Here is another superstorm treated with the polished and the carbon fiber. Again, lockup's nice and early. Centers in right on the money. Oop. And then flicks out very nicely with the nub deployment. Oop, caught that one with my finger. Yeah, very fun little knife to play with though. And I like the carbon fiber, like I said. These turned out super smooth because they are screwed in there. This was one that was the OD green. I did away with the green by giving it a nice deep red dye job. Polished the screws and gave them a blue to go with that satin blue bronze effect. Really turned out pretty sharp. And then did the same treatment on the pocket clip. Again, centered in, lockup's good. Centered in pretty nicely. And she's got a nice crisp flick to it. Here is that PVD black with the blue G10 polished out, pocket clip anodized with a nice storm treatment. Definitely liked the overall effect with that G10. But these are the ones that have just dropped. If you are interested in picking one up, definitely jump onto the website. I do expect that they're going to go very quickly. So check them out at www.jdcutlery.com. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.